Hello, boils and ghouls. The time of year for monsters and evil spirits to roam the earth has come once again. Lock the doors and hide because it's time for our Halloween episode of You Tried Dat! You Tried Dat! Happy Halloween! I'm Nick Nowak, my pal. Shad Hancock,
Howdy,
Nick Geiger.
Hey,
boys and ghouls.
Halloween, guys.
yeah, it's pretty scary outside right now.
I did once go as a kid as I went to the store and we bought just like a face paint thing, but it was supposed to make your face look like a lizard. Like you cover it and then the paint like hardens in a way that looks scaly. And I had been out about an hour and I don't know if I applied it wrong or what. But I felt like I wanted to rip the fucking stuff up my skin. It was like
was
hurting
it like burning
and
or
itchy.
something?
Burning, yeah.
It was just like really itchy and like got really like tight against my skin. And I was just like, this is awful. So I was like the whole time just like knocking on doors and they opened it and I'm like ripping parts of my face off. So it was
That's actually a pretty scary costume.
scarier than usual. Yeah.
Molting lizard. Oh God! Trick or treat, please.
I've never done, I think, like a face. I've always avoided like a face painting costume. Like I've done masks a few times. You know, like last year I had this like shittiest ever plastic mouse mask that I bought because I thought it would be funny, but it had like no visibility whatsoever. So I just ended up wearing it like on top of my head for most of the night. And
I had some of the shitty like plastic kids costumes. Like back when we were kids, it was just like a plastic thing. You like a shirt and pants, and then a shitty mask with like a elastic string on the back. I did like Batman and Super Grover and a couple of those. But
yeah, the only time I painted my face was when I went as Hannah Montana one year when this was as an adult, so when it was very inappropriate. Yes, I had my mom apply makeup on me because I don't know how to apply makeup, and she put like lipstick on me. I think she put some like blush on my cheeks and stuff, and then I wore
hot. Yeah, you looked good.
You were hot.
Yeah, and I had like a blonde wig, and like I had just gone to like, I don't know, Macy's or something, into like the women's section and bought like a jean skirt and some like a tank top or something. It looked really awful, and I was carried a fake microphone. It was pretty hot. Hannah Montana.
We've done the last few years we run a Halloween 5K with my whole family, and so we try to like theme our costumes a little bit because everyone there's got really good costumes. And a couple years ago, we got 4 plastic Jar Jar masks, just the Jar Jar, and we were all Jar Jar.
You ran the whole race wearing Jar Jar masks.
Yeah, I mean,
That's
it really was just like one of those cheap plastic ones with a string on the back. So really, like, in terms of costumes, it could be much worse. Like, there's people running this as like Mario Kart with like carrying a giant box for like the whole 5K. So, and then this last year, I went on Marketplace and got this big, hilarious mascot head of a hamster. And decided after I wore it last year, I'm just now wearing that every year, so I don't have to look for costumes anymore.
So you've broken with the theme. Your family doesn't get to do a theme with you anymore.
Nope, unless they want to be hamsters.
Well, doesn't your head sweat uncomfortably much in there? Like that sounds really unwieldy to run in.
It has a pretty good like opening for wind to get in, and usually it's pretty fucking cold on like the Halloween race. But yeah, like I take it off for parts and put it back on. And the key is just the end. Like the last year when I told my family to, like my wife and my daughter who was in cross country, like will finish before me and my other daughter. And so I said, when you get to the finish line, pull out the camera and like, we'll do a little dance across the finish line. So I have a very funny, like, hamster dancing across the finish line. And now it's just like, because I have no interest in actually running it, I just like, am going to spend the whole 3 miles planning my finish line cross.
You need to recreate the dance from hamsterdance.com.
Deep-a-dee-dup-deep-a-do-do.
What's the rest of your family gonna do then? Since
they talked about doing like candy corn or something like that. So I don't know. It sounded fun. What's the scariest thing you guys ever wanted? Did you ever actually create something scary for a costume?
Probably not intentionally. I think like maybe they looked unintentionally scary. The Hannah Montana one, for example.
I'm trying to think. Packer player, not scary.
I did Princess Peach, and my wife went as Mario. One year, which that's where I reused the same blonde wig from Hannah Montana. That probably looked scary. And I also ran a race. I ran the Beta Breakers race, which is in May every year, which is like a 7.5 mile race here in San Francisco. I did that as Princess Peach, because people run that in costumes, or they run it naked. There's like a lot of naked people, or there's people like pushing people, like it's just a big party,
either costume or completely naked, right?
Wear a ton of shit or nothing.
Yeah, like people they use it as a big party, so some people will just push like wagons with like kegs in them, and just like everybody gets drunk and stuff. But I actually ran the race with the Princess Peach, and it was pretty warm that day, so I kind of liked having the like ventilation, of the dress. Was nice.
You guys running races and shit. It's time to get candy, not fucking get healthy. Piece of shit. I laid around like a fat ass. I don't dress up much anymore. I've been Hulk Hogan. I've been a luchador. I've been
hey brother.
I've been Batman. Hey.
Hey brother, there's a lot of Packers players around here.
I went as Luigi one year. I don't
want Packers players, brother. I want more Princess Peaches.
Hey Mario, I cooked your wife, brother.
Did you say there was Wisconsin was like 3 ghosts, a couple skeletons, and like 400 Packers players just like wandering the streets?
Yeah, it just looked like the NFL draft at Halloween. It was infamously, I think I've talked about before, I went as Santa Claus the one time. That was my best costume, probably. And then I would find a reason to use that wig for like school projects. I'm like, I'm Benjamin Franklin, or whatever. I'd use that same Santa wig for all kinds
you're like,
of shit.
you went as Santa Claus if he was a defensive tackle for Green Bay.
Yeah, I went as I went as LaMichael Claus, and I was the leading sacker at the North Pole. I went as Hulk Hogan if he had played football. I just put a helmet on him. I went as a luchador who played football.
Right.
So, look, if you can't do, pretend. That's what I always say.
Right.
I did go as a hobo one year, and I remember my mom like got an old dress shirt and had like our neighbor was a mechanic. Like he used it to like wipe a bunch of like tools and engine blocks and stuff, so it was dirty. And then I'm like, but then I wore it. Like it's kind of gross. And then I had like dirtied my face up and stuff. So. I was a hobo. It was a pretty cool costume of hobo.
You said you were a hobo. Did you tell the guy you were a hobo? Like, hey, can I borrow your clothes? Sure. I'm going as dirty vagrant.
Yeah. In retrospect, it's kind of fucked up to be like, I come from a middle class family, but I'm gonna pretend to be destitute and unhomed. Give me candy. Got no place to live. I ran a 4.40. I'm a football player. What?
That's a popular old costume. Like they have a bindle.
Yeah, I have bindle and like the old like the hat. Like there's a hobo hat kind of thing.
You put in some meth teeth and you just kind of flop around on the ground for a little bit.
Yeah, I updated the costume for the times. Yeah, I'm a meth. I went as meth junkie.
If it's in San Francisco, you just get a license to shit all over the street. So that's...
Yeah, San Francisco. It'd be great if you were a meth head and you wanted to get into people's houses because they don't fucking idea. Like, oh, look at that one. He looks like a zombie. Just like dragging yourself up to the front door, breaking in and stealing all the china or whatever. They probably know by now.
China! Yeah, you break into a house and steal the china? What the fuck? Are you from the 1920s? Like,
that's what the most valuable thing in a house is.
Walking out with a giant stack of fragile plates. Whoa! I gotta navigate the hills of San Francisco with this.
Okay, I've got a gravy boat. How much meth can I get? What the fuck am I gonna do with this?
You updated your costume for the times, but not your burglary targets.
My theft targets? Yeah. I went in and got their butter churner, and boy, were they hard up.
I'm going as methamphetamine free safety. Is that a bindle? No, it's my play sheet. Go deep.
You just open up the bindle. There's a football inside.
I got a sack of plays in here. Now go get them.
All right, let's eat some snacks. 3 snacks, rate them on a 5-point scale. Love that, like that, indifferent to that, dislike that, and hate that. None of these snacks are Halloween themed in any way whatsoever, but we are going to eat them. We're first going to eat we have one remaining Denver snack we threw in here. It's the Mile High Popcorn Spicy Nacho flavor. There's a milehighpopcorn.com website on here. If you want to check it out.
Have you guys ever joined the Mile High Popcorn Club?
Oh.
Is that where you're really stale?
They're so stale. Is that where you fuck a popcorn in the bathroom of an airplane?
Yeah, you take your popcorn bag in the airport bathroom and.
I'm sorry about this, guys. Yeah, so I think so. I got these from David when I visited him in Denver. My brother David, which was back in when did I visit him? July
of what year?
And I think he had bought these like a month or two before that, maybe. So yeah, this popcorn is very old, and it tastes like it.
If you dig down a little bit, it's a little fresher under.
Eat the whole bag. You'll love it.
But I think we can rate on flavor. Geiger?
Nope, that wasn't any better.
Geiger, what do you think of the Mile High Popcorn Spicy Nacho?
I'm going to start by saying it's not that spicy. A fact that will be refuted by Chad in 5 minutes, but it is just stale, and that's hard to give it a fair rating. I think the flavor is fine. It's not that nacho-y. It's got a little kick to it. I think the flavor is such that I would get sick of it a lot sooner than normal popcorn, so I would maybe only eat like half a bag or so. And when we say bag, like these are small. These aren't microwave-sized bags, but these are like tiny pouches. So I think I'd get a little tired of the flavor after a while. I'm going to have to say dislike that just because it is so chewy. I think maybe if it was fresher, I would maybe give it an indifferent. I think it's fine. I like popcorn fine, but this wouldn't be my go-to flavor or consistency of popcorn.
Chad?
Geiger, I'm going to surprise you here. I don't think it's that spicy either.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, I was expecting a lot spicier. I mean, the name says spicy nacho. Honestly, it just tastes like it does to me. It kind of tastes like nacho cheese sauce a little bit, and nacho cheese sauce will sometimes have a slight kick in it. By the way, that reminds me, let me get your guys' thoughts about this.
Yeah.
I went to the San Francisco Zoo last weekend, and a few years ago, the San Francisco Zoo had really, really good food at their cafeteria, but it has been slowly declining in quality over the last few years for whatever reason. So I order a cheeseburger, which I've gotten there before, and they have a good cheeseburger, but this time, instead of putting regular cheese on it, they literally took nacho cheese and just squirted it onto the cheeseburger. And like the guy said it was cheese fondue. Ooh. And then that was the cheeseburger that I was served.
What?
Thoughts?
The guy said, yeah, sure, it's fondue, sucker.
Like cheese that they would put in like a plastic nacho cup?
Exactly, cheese that they would, because they were putting the same cheese into plastic nacho cups.
So it was like coming out of a pump, basically.
Yes.
It was like that scooey, no.
One of those fondue pumps. Right.
Classic yeah. He dipped the burger in a fondue fountain and handed it to me.
I think that's too wet. Did it make the burger all
pretty
sloppy?
Gross. That's I don't think that's acceptable.
I mean, so the problem was that like I was chasing my kids around, but I didn't get to eat it for a while, but that actually probably worked out because the cheese kind of hardened a little bit before I got around to it.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
But it was still like, it was very gross. I was super disappointed. I still ate the whole burger. But
best $45 I ever spent.
But I will probably not be getting the cheeseburger. I was like, I should just got a hot dog. And it's weird because that kind of nacho cheese, right? That'd be okay on like a Philly cheesesteak. Like I'd be fine with it, but just on a cheeseburger, I don't know though.
Well, the other fucked up part is that the burger is made up of like ground up orangutans, the diet and stuff, right?
Right.
I think that's true.
That is true.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. What was I saying? Oh yeah. This popcorn, I don't like popcorn to begin with that much, especially bagged popcorn. I'm a popcorn hater, to be honest. This one is bad, but it's not as revolting as I thought it would be. I'm right there with Geiger, dislike that.
I'm going to differ from you guys. I know it's stale, but I'm going to rate on the flavor, which I think is really nice, actually. I've never had it. I don't feel like I've had plenty of cheese popcorn, but I haven't had any spicy popcorns in the past, spicy cheese, and I think it's kind of tasty. I could actually see eating a decent amount of this bag. I'm going to give it a low level like that.
Wow.
So I split from the crowd here. Next, let's go to the chocolate bar. This is the Lily's Salted Caramel Milk Chocolate Style Bar. So it's
But I think it still does have regular chocolate in it. I don't think it's like fake chocolate or something.
No sugar added, though.
No sugar added. Chocolate with 36% cacao. A new, rich, and creamy recipe.
Ooh.
Never heard of Lily's before.
So it is real chocolate. It's just not like Hershey chocolate where they just pump it up with sugar.
Where did we get this one?
I bought it at some like local artisanal grocery store.
There are I kind of like the setup of the bar where there's little blocks like there would be in a Hershey bar that you can break off, but there's a lot of them and they're very little.
Yeah.
I think it could make for like kind of a slower eating experience. Like you could work your way through the bar a little slower and enjoy it.
It is a big bar too.
It's a big ass bar.
Yeah. It's like the size of the big flat rectangle, like when you look in the fancier, slightly more expensive chocolate bars at the grocery store. It's about those size. All right. Chad, you're up first. What do you like to think about Lily's salted caramel?
It's all right. I taste the salt, that's for sure. That salt is coming through in every single bite. I'm not getting any caramel at all. It just tastes like a salted chocolate bar. I don't know. Maybe you guys are getting caramel flavor that I'm not.
Yeah.
I kind of expected a little more with the caramel. And I think the caramel, since they're not adding sugar to this chocolate, it's a little darker than I would like. And I think the sweetness of the caramel would have offset that nicely would the caramel actually exist in this bar. But the chocolate, it is creamy. They're right about that. I just want something sweeter. If I'm going to get the calories for chocolate, I want it to be extra calories, make me super fat instead of just kind of fat. So this is an indifferent to that for me.
Yeah, it's caramel would be perfect. Like just a little caramel in the middle is just what it needs. As it is, it's missing something, and I think that is added sugar. It's missing. So it's not bad. It's just a little plain for my taste. I'm gonna go with a second indifferent to that. Geiger, what do you think?
I think my problem is that when I buy chocolate, it's got to be 37% cacao or higher.
Yeah,
and this is only 36.
Too low. Yeah,
it's not enough cacao for the buck. No, I'm not crazy about the salt on chocolate thing. I know, like, we've had some of these salted chocolate bars before, and I get the premise, like the salty sweet and yada yada. I don't love like flakes of salt on a chocolate bar. I just think it's too. Yeah. And this one had a lot of salt on it. The chocolate's clearly well made. There's no additional sugars added, which great. It tastes good. I'm with you guys that there is no caramel flavor. I was expecting a little bit more. I'll probably land on it indifferent too. It's a perfectly fine and well-made chocolate bar. I just don't love the salt, and without the caramel, it just tastes like chocolate with salt sprinkled on it, which is weird to me.
Okay, lazy electioneer for Lily's, but it is in the lead. It does have to face the brand new Reese's popcorn coming up.
It is going to get smoked anyway.
Brand new. The Reese's popcorn was brand new also back in the summer, I think.
Yeah.
We're a little behind.
Okay.
But that's okay. All right, what you got for tournament month, Novak?
Start the tournament.
It's Halloween coming up, guys.
Yeah.
And today we're going to talk about some trick-or-treating tales.
Okay.
I'm going to tell you some trick-or-treating tales, some things that people got while they're trick-or-treating that aren't the usual type of things. The Snickers, the Reese's, the Twix, and such. All right, they got some kind of weird stuff.
Fine China.
And you're gonna tell me on the 2-point scale here, is it a trick or a treat? That's the only way you're gonna name it, right? So maybe it's weird, but it's not bad. Someone puts a nice china plate in your bag. That is not such a bad thing. So that might be a treat for you, and a trick if you think that it's not such a good thing. The example that I saw that made me think about this was someone saying that they got their kids got a voucher for a free karate lesson. Right? Usually, sometimes you get that shit, then probably that's not great, but it's a little something different.
From like the person that gave it out, or was it from?
Yeah, I think like the person who gave it out like owned this business or something like that.
Community outreach,
Jesus
drum up kids.
Christ.
It wasn't like free karate lessons in my garage.
Wasn't some old lady like, yeah, I mean, I'm sure you can find someone to give you free karate lessons. Here's a voucher you can hand them. Climb into any white van unmarked.
The first one says, one year one of my kids received a heart-shaped sucker that said, "Be mine" on it. Okay, so they said it went directly in the trash, but what do you think about some recycled old Valentine's candy when it's time for...
I wasn't getting it at first, like why that was a big deal, but now you're right. It's from Valentine's Day.
Yeah, starting off easy here. So, Geiger, you're going to be first. Excited? I mean, it's, you get some Valentine's candy outside of the normal.
It's a treat. It's still candy. Like, and as an adult, you know how much like you get leftover candy? You just want to get rid of it. You don't want to eat it. And it's cost effective to reuse the candy. Like
you save it for 8 months. Right?
Yeah, we bought one year. I think I bought too many bags of candy for Halloween, so I just saved that bag of candy for next year. It wasn't open. I'm sure all the chocolate bloomed, but I don't think there's anything wrong with getting candy on.
Fuck.
I don't think there's anything wrong with getting Valentine's Day candy on Halloween. We throw it in the trash. We're too good to eat candy out of holiday sequence. Fuck off. That's some kid could use that. Like some kids don't get candy. Some meth head doesn't get candy.
Think of the starving children in Africa who would kill for a Be Mine lolly.
No shit. So just
give it to the kid dressed as hobo. He'll be happy for anything.
Thank you, sir. Do you have any Arbor Day candy?
He needs something to bite down on so he doesn't bite his tongue during his meth episode.
Chad, what do you agree?
Probably, but I mean, it depends on how this thing is wrapped, right? Like, is this one of these ones that is like just a little piece of plastic twisted around it where like air is very clearly getting in, and then it's it's probably going to be super stale. Versus like if you get
a hermetically sealed sucker.
Yeah, some of them are more so than others, right? Like those caramel apple ones they're almost like laminated inside the plastic. You know what I mean? So something like that. I don't know. I think it's fine. 8 months isn't that long. Like most candy lasts that long, so I think this is a trick. Wait, treat.
All right, good start. Yeah. One of my neighbors had forgotten it was Halloween and didn't have anything to give my sister and I. He invited us inside and gave us a couple of his own Klondike bars from his freezer. Oh. It was really nice. Instead of getting angry or blowing us off, he was really generous. All right, Chad. So, guy invites you into his freezer. I think I got some Klondike bars at the back. If you head in there and take a look.
You might have to climb in just a little bit.
Man, so how well do you know this? I mean, they said it's their neighbor, so they probably like know the person. But also, like, why is the I don't know. Like, if you're not going to have any candy, like, you turn off your porch lights, right? Like, you make it clear that you don't answer the door, right? Like, it's not that hard. But Klondike's a pretty good ice cream bar. You know, that's
who would you trust for a Klondike?
Here's why I'm gonna say trick, because you have to eat it like right then, right? You can't put it in your trick or treat bag.
I have to eat ice cream immediately
because you're about to get stabbed.
Yeah, right.
But it's the opportunity cost, right? Like while you're standing there eating ice cream, you could be going to that many more houses and getting more and more candy. So I'm gonna say trick here for this one. I don't want ice cream on Halloween.
Yeah, I think it really boils down to how well you know the neighbor. Because as a parent, I would be livid to find out my kids went into someone's house in their living room and started eating out of their freezer, unless I knew it was like the next door guy who, as we all know, in every serial killer documentary, everyone always says he seemed like such a nice guy. I don't think there's anything necessarily wrong with it. I guess what was his plan of like, okay, all right,
damn well what his plan was.
I handled these two kids with my Klondike bar. I'm running out of food. Like the next two kids are going to get what, like a chicken Kiev microwavable hot pocket or something. Like, what are you going to give them?
All I got left is ice cubes, open wide.
I got leftover beef stroganoff. You hungry? It is just, as a kid, I would be thrilled to eat a Klondike bar because I love ice cream. So I would think it's just barely a treat, only because it's the next door neighbor and they probably know the parents pretty well.
And then you can brown out that neighbor's toilet.
Yeah, I would definitely. I would leave some trick for them.
Yeah, the trick is on the neighbor feeding people with a. Why can't I think of what you can't eat?
Lactose?
A lactose intolerance, yeah.
Oh, yeah. They didn't know. I'm going to clog up their plumbing.
All right. There's this one neighbor kid, this one goddamn little kid who hates animals for no reason. Kicks cats and shit. That fucker's getting a candy onion. His friends are all going to bite into a tasty, warm apple, and he's getting fucking layers of onion. Right.
Okay, what? Can we rewind? They're biting into a warm apple?
Yep.
A candy apple is warm? Oh, I guess I'm thinking of like
fresh.
Caramel apple. So they take a
baked
apple that's like been candied or whatever.
No, I think it's supposed to be a caramel apple, but he's like,
okay,
he's freshly carameled it with warm caramel. I mean,
so I bet he freshly carameled it. All right.
Not that one fucker though.
Not that one fucker who hits cats and shit. So yeah, this highly intelligent Wadsworth over here is going to be making candied onion.
So I'm not sure how you're supposed to rate this one, but what do you think, Edgar?
So am I reading it from the perspective of that shithead cat-beaten kid?
I kind of don't think it matters how you rate it. The answer's the same no matter what.
No, look, if there's a shit kid in your neighborhood, it is, I think it, like, I would rate it as a treat if I got to watch and I wasn't related to either party. Like, that'd be funny to watch some kid eat a candy onion. Onions are actually kind of good, but I don't think I'd like one if I was expecting an apple. I think this is probably a trick. Well, it's literally a trick. Right. But I do think, like, look,
it's a very definition of the word.
A definition of a prank. I think, though, if you are abusing animals, you would deserve an onion to the mouth. So I'm all in favor of everything about this. So I'm saying treat because I think it's an excellent idea.
Chad, are you in favor of feeding the neighborhood kid a candy onion instead of trying to get him help?
Yeah, I mean,
hell yeah.
I mean, yeah, this kid sucks. Like, you know, maybe you should have talked to the parents or like or like kick the kid every time he kicks a cat. You know, that probably would
that's
work.
a much better solution is assault a child. Yeah,
fuck this guy for giving out even chocolate apples. Like, why are you giving out fruit? Like some homemade thing, maybe got razor blades inside it and stuff. Like, give out pre-packaged candy like a
tasty,
normal
warm apple.
Person.
He says,
"Yeah, that's fucked. That is super fucked. I would not let my kids take an apple from some guy on Halloween. Fuck this guy.
He's going to get a surprise when he bites through an onion. His nice friends who are good to animals are going to eat fucking Raisin Bran apple.
Fuck this guy, this like dog the bounty hunter wannabe, taking like vigilantism into his own hands. So Trick.
Not only will he be eating an onion, but he'll be watching his friends bleed from the mouth.
Do you want to know how I got these scars? Halloween. I got them from Halloween.
It says one guy used to give out fireworks and bottle rockets, but you had to let him draw a mark on your hand with permanent marker, so you could come back. You couldn't come back and get more than one. So you can't cut. This guy's got the perfect look. He wants to give out fireworks. And he has the perfect plan.
Yeah.
He can only give out one apiece because all you got to do is put a little marker on the kid's hand, and then the kids can't come back and get two, and everyone's happy. So, Chad, what do you think of this plan?
That hand that will then be blown off by the fireworks so they can come back and use their other hand.
When he's picking up loose hands around the neighborhood, you can see if they're from his fireworks.
The marker seems superfluous here because no kid is getting more than 2 fireworks anyways from this guy.
Walking up with a bleeding stump. Think you already had one.
Nope. Picks up a hand. There's no mark on it. Oh, not one of mine.
Oh, I see you still have a marker on your other hand. Yeah, you should have used the marker hand when you were holding that firework, not the other one. So you only get one firework.
But think of it as a kid. Is it good from the kid's perspective? You getting fireworks?
No.
No? It's terrifying. I mean, I don't know. It like, oh, God, these fucking hick. I guarantee this is just some fucking hick redneck. Fucking hillbilly, backwoods Wisconsin, or the fucking South, or some shit like that.
Fuck off.
This is a Saukville Halloween special. I mean, I guess the kid would probably like it, but as a parent, this is absolutely horrifying. Trick.
Can you imagine if you came home and your kid just had like a Roman candle in his bag? I'm like, what in the shit? An M80 or something?
It's a very Wisconsin thing. Whenever someone buys a car, Ernie marks their hand.
You just got a new Chevy Tahoe. I think this sounds like the classic dumb criminal thing. Whereas I'm pretty sure you're not supposed to give fireworks to minors. And also identify exactly how many minors you gave them to, police officer.
It's Halloween.
It is Halloween, and that means there
classic
are no laws.
Fireworks holiday, Halloween.
Yeah, Halloween is kind of like the Purge, where you can get away with whatever you want to do. I think I heard you can murder someone, then just mark their hand and be like, "Oh, purge. You can only get one purge." You've been purged.
these fireworks have probably bloomed. They're from July, you know?
The day-old fireworks. As a kid, I think I would think it's pretty cool. And as a parent, I'd want to fucking murder this guy. So
I'd want to give this guy a razor blade filled candy apple.
But honestly, also as a kid, I don't know if I would know what it is. Like, a firework? Okay. I don't know what to do with this. I can't really use it, so I'd rather have
light it.
Probably. I know what to do with it now.
What is this wild device?
If I was 6 years old, I probably wouldn't think I'm getting in trouble. So maybe I think
throw it in another kid's candy bin, blow it to smithereens.
Hey, Randy, give me your Tootsie Rolls, or I'm gonna shove this up your ass and light it. Fucking Randy. I think
quite a threat for a Tootsie Roll.
A little bit of an overreaction there, I think.
I don't know what you've been told, but that's assault, brother.
I think if I had a candy bin full of Tootsie Rolls and nothing but Tootsie Rolls, I'd welcome it being blown up. Like, please, light your fireworks in here.
I would mold them all into a giant firework and light it off. No, I think this is a trick. I don't think I'd want a firework as a kid. Just give me candy.
All right. We had a bodybuilder who lived down the street from us.
Boy. Hell yeah.
He gave him the cream and the clear.
he would take a permanent marker and mark the ass cheek that he injected the steroids in. Oh, you already got an injection.
He used to hand out protein bars and mini gym towels every year.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Gym towels? Hey, buddy, you gotta get buff. Hey, brother. Oh, God, it's Hulk.
I'm not allowed to use the equipment, sir. I'm not sure.
What?
All right.
Wipe down your sweaty pits, kid. Whips a towel in his face.
So, okay, protein bars are bad enough. This is Halloween. Don't give me healthy fucking food. That's dumb. But beyond that, a gym towel? These kids can't go to the gym. These are this is no buff babies with their
buff babies.
There's no buff babies out there.
This ain't no buff babies.
Show me that. Show me that ham. Show me that.
What
show
me
that
roast. About?
Let me see that roast beef.
These babies weak as fuck over here. Look at this fucking baby.
Look at these fucking yoked out 3-year-olds and oh, thanks, bruh. I need to practice good gym etiquette. Fuck you, you dumb fucking roid head with no nuts.
This baby has no neck control. What do you think it's gonna do? A bench press over here? Come on.
Yeah, fucking baby has no object permanence, but it's gonna know to wipe down the fucking bench press after it's done with it. Fucking shithead. This is the dumbest fucking thing I've ever heard.
So,
Trick.
Yeah, do you agree?
I would be so disappointed in this as a kid. Yeah, this is awful, Trick.
A gym towel.
The protein bar's worse, honestly.
Yeah, that's true. Hey, nerds. Happy birthday. Yeah, fucking dumbbell candy bar.
Happy birthday.
All right. Yeah, I don't know.
I hope you were born on Halloween, nerd.
Robert Irvine is so confused. There was 31 children born today. I don't know. This is fucking weird.
Okay.
I ran out of gym towels.
Okay. A guy in my neighborhood who would run for mayor every election used to hand out magnets that said "Vote Murphy."
Oh boy!
Every year he's running every year.
What kind of
in their town? They have an election every year.
We couldn't vote, so everyone just threw them.
They threw them away.
All right, Chad Murphy wants to get elected, and he thinks Halloween's a good time to spread the
word. I would keep the first one because, first of all, I collect magnets, but also it's kind of funny. But after you go back the second year and there's not even an election that year, the next election's not for 3 more years or whatever, and you've got another Vote Murphy magnet, that's getting really fucking annoying. Probably stop going to that house after that
and start voting Murphy. And start handing out actual candy next year.
Yeah, let's get him mayor so that we can get a fucking fun-sized Snickers for once.
He's running on the Buff Babies platform.
Little buff boy.
Vote Murphy so we can get some buff babies up in here.
Our babies
not enough
in town
buff babies in this town.
Look around. The babies are weak.
The problem with America today, not enough buff babies.
Look at China. All those babies, jacked. Uzbekistan, jacked. U.S., weak. Weak babies.
You sick of a sweaty bench? Vote Murphy.
Yeah, so this is a trick.
This just reeks of the saddest. I'm just picturing a single dude eating fucking lean cuisines by himself. He's got 15 boxes of unused Murphy, because he can't fucking get elected, but he ordered 40,000 magnets or whatever. Every fucking year, Murphy, you're just fucking dragging a cigarette.
Unused Murphy.
Just
Floor to ceiling Murphys.
His mom just looked at him as 6 feet of unused Murphy. just puffing on Marlboro. Yeah. Merry Christmas. Just throws out.
Forgot to cancel the Amazon automatic reorder.
Here, have these magnets because your parents really want to quote unquote vote Murphy.
He saved 5% on that subscribe and save though.
So yeah, he's like crying into a gym towel. So I think this is a treat. This is bullshit.
All right, last one here. When I was a kid, a guy opened his door and the doorknob fell off. He threw it in my bag of candy, shut the door, and turned off the light.
So you got a doorknob, huh?
Guy having a really shit day on Halloween.
Damn. Fucking have it, you little piece of shit, and turn the fucking light off and sit in the dark.
This is Murphy 10 years later. Like, I still can't get elected. I don't care. I don't have money to fix my doorknobs because I keep getting magnets delivered every month.
Next week, you go up and his doorknob is like strapped into place with a bunch of magnets.
Just magnets stuck together into a doorknob shape. Turn the magnets to come in.
All right, Geiger. It's it could be it's a big old valuable doorknob.
What?
So what do you think?
It's a big. This guy sounds like a big old doorknob.
At least $12.99 at the hardware store. Very valuable.
Some meth heads like, you got any more of those doorknobs? Some fucking silky little pissant's gonna throw a doorknob in your bag and then turn the light off, lock the door, and just sit in the dark and brood about his lack of a doorknob. Piece of shit. So, actually, I think it'd be kind of funny to have a door. Like, I think it'd be funny to come home and be like, look what I got, and show your parents that you got a doorknob. Yeah. So, I think it's a treat.
Chad, what do you think of the old doorknob?
You know what? I think this guy, he sees a problem in society and he's trying to solve that problem. And what he's doing is he's got a doorknob, right? Doorknob's heavy. Yep. You put it in a bag that a baby's carrying. That baby's going to have to lift that doorknob. Now we're going to have some buff babies. Am I right?
Yeah, that's a good point.
So this guy gets a treat from me. Smart thinking.
All right, so think of that when you guys are handing out candy this year. Maybe you can get some unique gifts. We've got the
gym
Reese's
towel
popcorn. Gym towel. It's just literally your whole identity when you're handing out fucking protein bars and gym towels.
I have nothing interesting about me. Here's a gym towel.
This is for your sweat, kid.
Popcorn smells pretty good.
These towels can be used to wipe up all your gains.
Okay, Reese's popcorn. On the bottom it says popcorn with chocolatey drizzle and peanut butter cream. Now, Chad, this is a tough one for you because you are noted popcorn hater and Reese's lover.
If there's anyone that could get me to like popcorn, it's Reese's.
All right, I'm up first. I'm not sure I've ever had popcorn and wish that it had chocolate and peanut butter on it. Sure.
You don't like sweet popcorns in general, though.
I don't like kettle corn. I love chocolate and peanut butter. It's the greatest combinations since Murphy and voting. But it just...
The best combination since Buff and Babies.
Even so, even not liking sweet popcorn, I just don't know about peanut butter and popcorn together. That's really my thing. I actually thought that the taste would be a little stronger. I think it's a little subdued for a Reese's product. It's not normally how they do things over there.
That's not their MO.
I'm unfortunately just going to have to give this an indifferent to Dad. I don't think it's a great product. I would not purchase it again. It doesn't taste bad. Just doesn't bring anything new to the popcorn game. I'd rather eat the Mile High popcorn, to be honest with you. So,
wow.
Indifferent. Geiger, what do you think?
I think my challenge with this So what I do like about it is the peanut butter is not overly sweet. It is actually a little salty, which, because it's in a popcorn context, is good. Like too much sweetness, I think, would have been this really sickly sweet. Some might say too sweet.
So sweet.
I think, yeah. But I also don't really taste much chocolate. I tend to taste more peanut butter, and I think that's the problem. If there was more chocolate to this, because I like chocolate and peanut butter as much as the next fucking guy. I like it as much as gym towels and protein shakes, classic combo. And I
love it as much as onions and razor blades.
I don't love. I'm with Novak in that I don't love sweet popcorn. I also don't love wet popcorn, like shit drizzled on some popcorn. I think it makes
like
the
butter. You don't like butter drizzled on popcorn?
Okay, I like
that's
wet
right.
buttery.
Fucking
popcorn.
caught
That's
you
true.
in a lie.
Oh God damn it! Call me Murphy. I've been lying to the public.
Punked.
But this is also the problem with these bagged popcorns is that they're always going to be stale. And part of what I like about popcorn is that the crispy, kind of like fresh popcorn taste. But beating around the bush, because I'm having a hard time rating it. I think I am going to also land in an indifferent. I think if it was chocolatier, I think I could have got this up to a like. It just wasn't for me. But it's not bad. The taste is like fine. It's a little chewy and it's just not chocolate enough. Now tell us why this is a Love Dad, Chad.
All right. So we've got the leader had 3 indifference. And right now we've got 2 indifference. So Chad holds the fate of the Reese's popcorn in his hands. What do you say, Chad?
So Geiger made a couple pretty good points. First of all, there isn't enough chocolate on it. That is true. I don't really taste the chocolate. Now, I do like that peanut butter drizzle. I think that flavor is okay. But also the bagged popcorn is so much worse than the fresh popcorn, right? It gets soft, and then you get the pieces stuck in your teeth and that sort of thing. I did surprisingly find myself going back for more as I was eating it. Like my hand was just reaching in the bag. I don't know if it's because Reese's has that mind control over me.
You just saw the orange and yellow. Just reached.
And Novak's also right. It's not as in-your-face flavor bomb as you normally expect from Reese's. I don't know. I just can't get behind bagged popcorn. Maybe if you made fresh popcorn and you drizzled it with like some melted chocolate, melted peanut butter, that maybe then I'd be like, all right, fine. I like this popcorn. But even just as a bag, this is probably about as good as bagged popcorn is going to get for me, and it's still indifferent to that. So we have to break the tie here. I would go for the popcorn over the salted caramel bar, I think. But what do you guys say?
I actually am going to pick the bar. It is close. I just think it's a slightly better product. Like the chocolate's at least kind of creamy.
It's definitely like higher quality.
Well, I'm accepting bribes, guys. I'm in the market for some magnets and gym towels. Just got what I need.
I'd bribe you, but I literally don't give a fuck. So
I'm a dirty politician. Me and Murphy are on the tape.
Put the doorknob in the bag. Let's make your decision here.
I am going to lean. I agree with the assessment that the bar is a better quality product. However, I just don't like the salt on the chocolate that much, so I am going to go Reese's popcorn.
All right. You guys have no integrity, and the Reese's
I bought my big Reese's.
Reese's!
Chad can now use these gym towel to clean up his jism. All right, Geiger. The listeners would like to contact us.
Yeah, they would?
No.
Okay. Hey, Murphy, if you're out there, I mean, I can only assume Senator Murphy at this point. I mean,
right.
You're probably pretty high up the rung if you constantly losing this low stakes municipal battle. Dude who hands out ice cream to minors in his house unsupervised. Be careful. I'm just saying.
Reach out to us too, yeah.
Yeah, reach out to us too. Tell me your techniques.
Send us some Klondikes.
Yeah. If you would like to tell us what you think of our snacks, suggest snacks that we should rate, all that good stuff, you can try us at youtrydat@gmail.com. We're on Facebook. We're on Twitter. We're on YouTube. Also on Instagram. Hit us up. give us some stars, likes, reviews, all that good stuff. If your friends and family have a weird sense of humor, you think they'd enjoy the podcast, please let them know about it. And as always, thank you for listening, and be safe trick-or-treating.
Okay, so you have to
Nope.
Consume an unwrapped something that you get in a Halloween bag. What's an unwrapped thing that you could see potentially consuming?
Jim
Like a banana, maybe?
Yeah, banana. I guess it's
technically wrapped, and an unwrapped banana would mean it's been peeled, right?
Well,
yeah.
So that'd be pretty nasty.
Yeah, you could.
I've heard of people giving out potatoes before.
You have?
Yeah, I'd heard that
in Ireland or something.
During the potato famine.
Okay, let me ask you this. Reese's cup, does that mean it's out of the orange packaging but still in the little black paper wrapping that goes on the bottom?
Unwrapped.
Unwrapped?
It's naked as the day it was born.
What do you think unwrapped means, asshole?
I mean, an apple's not far from what you'd trust. Like, it's at least a piece of fruit.
Mm-hmm.
But it could have a razor blade
someone
in it.
Slipped a razor blade. Like, where are all these razor blades in apples?
I think that happened in the
Google
80s or
image
something.
that.
Or hypodermic needles in a apple.
Whoa!
Or something.
A giant hypodermic needle in an apple?
It was a real bit. Well, maybe it was it was like a sub sandwich.
Comes with a side of meth in it. Do you inject
Yeah,
meth?
it was a cousin's party sub that they all had at the house. Yeah, I don't know, like a cheeseburger? No. Probably not.
I have seen people like out of their garages, like giving hot dogs and things like that to like people.
Oh yeah, I've seen that. Mm-hmm.
We had a neighbor lady because we knew her pretty well. Like she was good friends with my mom. We would always she did like signing for the deaf, and so she taught us like the sign language for trick or treat, which I think is this. So for the listeners, it's like a Vulcan V thing with your fingers, and then you take your other hand and go bop 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 back and forth to the two sides, and then we would get like. She made like these really good like oatmeal chocolate chip cookies or whatever. Then we would come and get a cookie, but we knew her and it was like a cookie. It's not.
Maybe like last year we went where there was people in the neighborhood that we trick or treated in, like just having a street party. Like there was a DJ on the porch and people were like dancing and stuff. And they had like solo cups. Yeah. They had solo cups with beer in it. So does that count? Like getting beer from a keg? Does that count as being an unwrapped Halloween
wrapped
treat?
in a keg.
It's wrapped in the keg, and then it's wrapped in your cup.
Now do a keg stand. That's what it would be. Maybe like a single Oreo cookie. Yeah. I think is the answer because they didn't
nailed it.
Well, because they didn't. You can tell they didn't like home bake it, right? So like they didn't put their semen in it or something, and it's like hard. So it's probably not picked up a lot of dirt and shit from their hand.
Yeah, no one can come on an Oreo cookie. That's too hard to do.
Novak, what would you take a common Oreo or like what would your choice be?
Magnet. Murphy magnet.
You'd eat an unwrapped magnet? Yeah, great.
I'm part of Murphy's traveling sideshow. Trying to get elected.
Yeah, like, I mean, you know, it could be that they say that the Oreo is double stuff and you look and it looks like a single stuff. And then they're like, oh, yeah, the second layer is my cum. Like, that could happen.
So you're telling me you look at a regular Oreo and you produce that much cum? That's a decent amount of dried cum.
It's talking Oreos here, though.
But there's more than one kid coming. They're going to have to make those like over the course of a year. Just to be stock up for Halloween. Unless maybe you live in a small town. So that could be it. That's the secret. Mm-hmm.
Small town's the best place to nut on Oreos. That's true.
I grew up in a small town. Murphy came on our cookies. I grew up in a small town. You had to clean off your treats with gym towels.
What?
Because there's cum on them.
Oh,
it's remember that I don't know. You know the song, John Cougar
Mellencamp.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I edited some of them. There was no cum.
Oh, he doesn't talk about coming on towels?
No,
Is that
I don't think he did.
In the actual lyrics?
He talks about just coming straight up into his hand like a man. Back when America was America.
Next week, speaking of America,
next
week's episode, will be our official election episode.
Oh.
It'll come out just days before the election. America will be deciding between Harris, Trump, and Murphy. Let's see so we'll be back next time. Enjoy your Halloween. We'll be back next time. We're trying out 3 brand new songs.
Deuces.
Yep.
William V. Shine was a successful and respected local dentist who lived in Fremont, California. He was married, in his mid-50s, and neighbors said he was kind, but mostly kept to himself. Then, on Halloween night in 1959, Shine handed out approximately 450 loose aloe pills, a mild form of laxative, to the neighborhood trick-or-treaters for no apparent reason. You know, apart from the lulz.